All right, welcome to today's Income Masterclass. My name is Stephen Allen, and today we're going to take a look at the $35 income hack that can make you $500 to $1,000 weekly working from home. This is going to be your ultimate game plan to getting that passive residual income every single week. And I promise you, this is going to be completely hype-free, and you can do this without any tech overwhelm, meaning you don't have to be a techie to get this going. Before we get started, though, I just want to check in with you and find out what frequency is your mind tuned into. I know that may sound like a weird question, but believe it or not, when we go throughout our daily lives, our mind is tuned into what I consider the FM frequency or the AM frequency. And to kind of clarify what it is I'm talking about, by FM, I mean, are you tuned into a failure mindset, or AM, which is an achiever's mindset? And the reason that's important is because if you're listening to this and you're watching this and the perspective you're coming from is a failure mindset, then you know what? For the most part, it's not really going to matter what's presented. You're going to be clouding what it is you're seeing because of the mindset that you're approaching this with, all right? Now, if you have achiever's mindset, then your mind is already that fertile ground that we can kind of plant these seeds in that can flourish and blossom and produce a huge harvest of financial abundance as well as many other things. However, if you are kind of tuned in with a failure mindset, we're going to do a real quick tweak for you, okay? And here's the reason why. If you change the idea of you, your entire life changes, because how you think is how you feel, and how you feel is how you act, and how you act is how you are. So for the most part, a lot of what it is we're doing, the genesis of it is a thought. So how you're thinking, this failure mindset or an achiever mindset. Now keep this in mind. Your hands will never do what your head doesn't permit. I want you to think about that. Your hands will never do what your head doesn't permit. So if you have this failure mindset and you're coming from this perspective of you can't, then you're never going to put your hands to it to try to do it in the first place, right? So before we put our hands to do anything, our head has to give us permission. And then that goes to the point of, if you want to change what's in your hands, you have to first change what's in your head, right? If you want to change what's in your hands, you have to first change in your head. And here's the reason why. You cannot do, perform, or have beyond what your own self-image is going to permit. Your self-image is a lens through which you see the world. Everything you're looking at, it is colored by your self-image. Your self-image is going to filter everything. If you feel small, then everything is going to look big to you. If you feel big, then no matter how big of a challenge it may appear to be, it's going to seem rather small to you, right? It's all about our personal interpretations and our personal experiences and how all of those different things come and collide together that creates this image of ourselves. However, for the most part, a lot of people, unfortunately, the image they have of themselves is painted by the words and opinions and the thoughts of other people. We tend to go through our lives allowing other people's opinions about us to hijack our brain and hold us hostage, and therefore how we see ourselves is not how we are, it's how we have been convinced and persuaded to see ourselves based on the thoughts and opinions of other people. So our self-image is something that we have to constantly refine, because a lot of people want you to operate in their image, the image they want to see you as, right? Not the way you need to be seeing yourself to be, so you can be a high achiever, a higher performer, and be able to do, have, and contribute on the level that you are fully capable to contribute on. Now, obviously, we're not going to deep dive into self-esteem. However, that's something that's really important to keep in mind. And I thought that it would be good to kind of touch on that, because if you start to feel any uneasiness or any excitement or whatever it is you're feeling or you're thinking as we go through this, or as you go through anything, you have to remember that an experience is just it. Heights is just height. Darkness is just darkness. A snake is just a snake. What happens is, are we afraid of the snake, or do we touch the snake? Are we afraid of heights, or do we want to go to higher levels? And I'm talking about like high-rise buildings, etc. Really, those are neutral experiences. And then when we show up and the image of how we see ourselves, we start to create a certain meaning, and then we start to have these certain reactions to it. So being afraid to start a business, being afraid to step out and do something different, something newer, something bigger, having that fear is not because the opportunity is scary. It's just the way you're viewing it. And if you kind of change that perspective, you change that view, then a whole lot of other things are going to change. All right, so real quickly here, who am I? My name is Stephen Allen. Real quick, I'm trying to make a very long story short. I was kicked out of high school, left with a 10th grade education. I used to run the streets, hanging out with the wrong crowd. I used to live in the Maryland, D.C. area, PG County to be precise, and actually Temple Hills in PG County to be precise. Hung out with the wrong crowd, went to Greensboro, North Carolina, where I got shot, still have that bullet in me to this day. I remember I was in the Moses H. Cone Hospital thinking, what am I going to do with my life? I could have just died that night. Went back to the Maryland, D.C., Virginia area to try to get my thoughts together. Moved up to Montgomery County in Gaithersburg, and I was trying my hand at a whole bunch of different businesses. Some worked, some didn't. The ones that did work, they worked for a short period of time. But I was pretty persistent, but ultimately, it just didn't come together, so I ended up filing bankruptcy. And, some people say, hey, when you file bankruptcy, you can get a new beginning. And for people, that's true. For me, bad went to worse, so I ended up being homeless. And by this time, I'm still in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and I meet a guy at a Fuddruckers right across Rockville Pike that goes right down into Rockville, Maryland. Anybody that's out in Montgomery County knows exactly what I'm talking about. So he had a mortgage company in Rockville, Maryland, and he allowed me to sleep on the floor of an empty office space that he had in the building. And I still remember because he wouldn't let me go to his house. And to clean up, I had to wash myself in the public bathroom either really, really late at night or really early in the morning before people came in there. And there was these very rough paper towels, and it was just absolutely awful. Long story short, though, I met another guy. He was in Kokomo, Indiana, and made my way out there. And I slept on the floor in the building that he had. But during this time, I was fiddling around with the internet. This was like in the late 1990s. Long story short, January 1st, 2000, I launched my first business on the internet. In 2 weeks, I did $35,000. My first year online, I did over $500,000 in sales. And then I went on from there to just do millions and millions of dollars. And as we are here today, over the last 16 years, I've spoken in over 21 countries to over 1.5 million people. And I have personally trained over 200,000 small business owners. Personally trained over 200,000 small business owners. My personal sales, from online sales, selling from platforms, coaching sales, telephone sales, cold call, you name it. My personal sales generated exceed over $20 million. All right. And I've been on all kinds of national television shows and international television shows like in Asia and in Thailand and other places. But one of the things that I loved was leveraging the internet. So I would put together these, what I call prizes, which is PRISE, which actually stands for passive residual income systems that were actually easy to do, easy to set up, and easy to operate. So just kind of looking back in history, because I've been doing this for a while, this is one of the systems I had set up that I had going through one shopping cart. This one did $1.3 million in sales. Here's another one that did $1.7 million in sales. And this is money coming directly to me. This is one of my processing accounts where I was collecting Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover directly. And this one did an excess of $4.6 million. So I'm not a newbie in doing this thing, okay? I'm very familiar with opportunities, failure, success, and maneuvering and how to leverage technology and the internet to make some money. But here's the thing, though. Throughout all of this, throughout all the failures, throughout all the testing and the trying by fire and trial and error, because I didn't have any coaches or teachers. I wish I did, but I didn't. So I had to kind of figure everything out myself. And I don't want you to be in that position. But I learned a lot of lessons, and I don't have the time right here, at least not right now, to share with you the whole lot of the lessons that I learned. But there's 3 very important lessons that I learned that I want to share with you before we dive into what this $35 hack is, all right? The first lesson is this. The biggest threat to your future is the past that you won't let go of. I'm going to say that again. The biggest threat to your future is the past that you won't let go of. Many of us are so hypnotized by what has happened, we are blinded to what can happen. we are still allowing what's happened in our past to hold us hostage, to hold us back. And now, verbally, that sounds kind of strange because it's not our past holding us back. It's us holding on to our past. We have to make the conscious decision. And I know it's not like this one-time decision. It's a decision we have to kind of perpetually make every single day. However, we have to make the decision to allow what has happened, the betrayals, the lies, the slander, the embezzlement, the people that walked out on you, the people that cheated on you, the people that lied on you, whatever the situation is, the money you lost, the deals you lost, whatever it is that has scarred you, that has left this whole lot of pain in your life that you aren't able to seem to shake, you have to make the decision. If you want to live the rest of your life, if you want to be fulfilled, one thing that we have to do is we have to allow what has happened in our past to remain exactly there. It needs to remain in our past. We have to dust ourselves off and we have to keep on going. Now, I know it's easier said than done. Listen, even to this day, there are things that have happened in my past that, I could say are unfair, and they are. They weren't really my fault. But guess what? I have to let that go because here's the thing. If you constantly think about things that happened to you, and that's your perspective, then you always put yourself in this victim position. And when you come from a position of being a victim, then guess what? You kind of feel helpless, right? And even if something happened to you, you can have a change of perspective and say, well, wait a minute, this happened for me. It's kind of like what the Most High said to Joseph. What they meant for your harm, the Most High meant for his good. So yeah, did Joseph sell himself into slavery? For those of you that are familiar with the Bible, of course not. Did Joseph make Potiphar's wife lie on him and then he gets sent to prison? No, it happened to him, but in actuality, it was happening for him. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to have the strength to pick up a new perspective that's going to serve us. Because guess what? Whatever's happened in the past has happened in the past. We need to pick a perspective that's going to empower us so we can move forward from it, all right? Second thing, real quick, and you probably heard this before, but you can't make money and excuses at the same time. You really can't. I mean, you have to kind of make a decision on what team you're going to play. You want to be on the money makers team or do you want to be on the excuse makers team? But you won't be able to play both teams. Make that decision. Third thing, it's not about things getting better. It's about you getting better and getting out of your own way. Listen, it's not about the economy getting better, politics, the job, the wife, the husband, the kids, the stock market, the real estate market, or whatever it is, or even the weather for that, But here's the thing, though. That would be nice. But even if the economy gets better, does that mean your personal economy has gotten better? If the people around you get better, hey, they can get healthier. Does that mean you're healthier? Listen, if we want to be able to contribute greater value to the things and people and places that are around us, we need to increase our own value. We need to get better. We need to start thinking more intelligently, thinking more strategically. We need to get healthier in our bodies, get healthier in our minds, get healthier in our spirits. Because when we start to do that, we have a lot more energy, a lot more optimism, and a lot more vigor to deal with the different things that we're going to have to deal with in our environment. Because no matter what's going on, you're never going to find a place on this earth where there's going to be an absence of challenges. No one gets a pass on that. It's called the University of Adversity, and everybody has to deal with it. So you might as well get better because the adversity is not going to go away. And if it does, it's just a season and it's going to come back. If you haven't learned your lesson, it's going to be the same thing. If you have learned your lesson, it's going to be another thing. That's just the process of life. Okay. So one of the things that we want to do is focus on how do we get better instead of waiting for all these other things around us that we have no control over to get better. All right. So I just want to kind of lay the ground, lay a little groundwork before we dive into this, okay? Now let's get it going. One other thing before I get into precisely what that $35 hack is, I want to kind of paint a bigger picture of what I consider to be the greatest opportunity ever. Listen, there are millions of people, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people on the internet out of the billions around the world. And they're not just on the internet, they're all interconnected primarily through social media, and they're sharing ideas and they're sharing things that they like and making recommendations. And based on those recommendations on what they like, people are going online and they're looking and they're searching. And when they find what it is they want, if it's something that interests them, then they're pulling out their credit cards and they're making purchases. This allows you to turn the internet into your own oil well, where you can start positioning yourself where people can find your offers and you start to get paid on autopilot like an oil well. And because you can leverage the internet and technology, you can literally have systems doing the work and you sit back and count the cash, right? Listen, most people get paid today for what they did today. That's called sub-optimized income. And a lot of people, because of that, they live paycheck to paycheck. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people put what we call money in the bank. And by that, I mean, you have this bankable time where you can take paid time off or you can take paid vacations. But at the end of the day, when you burn up that paid time off and you burn up those paid vacations, you're still back to trading off time for money, kind of like that linear income. What I want to introduce you to is something that's going to help you to optimize your income. And by optimizing your income, what I mean is you're using systems that are designed to make you money today, tomorrow, next week, next month, and even next year off of work you did one time, even if you never did that work again. All right? So the opportunity that I'm going to introduce you to that only costs you $30 to $35 to get started is so powerful. It can create money so efficiently and effectively. It's like having your own legal money printing press. Now, we know if the government gave you permission to print your own money, you would be losing sleep because you're printing so much money, right? Now, this is why this will work for you. It works because it doesn't matter what's going on in the economy. It's going to work regardless of your current income. It works regardless of your current experience level. No experience is required to do this. You can get started fast, like today. Like once you finish listening to this and watching this, boom, you can go ahead and get started. And you can have a worry-free business. The simplicity of doing this is absolutely insane. It's delightful. It's not a business that you have to have all these different worries about because you don't have a bunch of heavy burdens that you're going to be carrying as if you own a franchise or multiple location type of franchise. All right. I want to introduce you to Total Life Changes, what I consider to be the world's greatest business opportunity that's making a difference in people's lives physically and financially. And because of that, you can make big money while you're participating and making that big difference in people's lives. Now, this is the right business because, one, it's easy, it's fun, it's lucrative. You can do this full-time. You can do this part-time. You can do it like how I started, even in your spare time. And as I mentioned earlier, no experience is required. And TLC, short for Total Life Changes, is in rapidly growing markets, and we'll touch on that in a minute. And the products meet three key criteria if you want to have success. They're consumables, which means they're products that people actually put in their body. They're desirable, which means they're products that people want to put in their body, and they're affordable. And that's the trifecta right there. It's a consumable, which means once they use it, they come back for more because it's desirable and because it's affordable. When you have that trifecta, you're setting yourself up to win the moment you participate. Also, TLC pays on time, all the time, every time, and is weekly. And the beautiful thing about that is that it's connected to the #1 rated and best compensation plan in the entire industry worldwide out of over 850 companies. And my numbers may be a little off here, but I believe in 2015, Total Life Changes did around $77 million. This year, as of this recording, as we get ready to close out 2016, TLC will do roughly $200 million and is on pace to hit about $1 billion in roughly 3-4 years. You're talking about an $800 million increase that you're going to be able to participate in. And keep in mind, when you have that level of momentum, we're going to be blowing past $1 billion as well. And you have an opportunity to participate in that growth while helping people. Okay. And one of the main things that is actually fueling this is something that I call a chaos of cash that's being created from the perfect collision of the tea market, which, I'll do a more in-depth training or video about the tea market because it's absolutely massive. It's really bigger than the coffee market. But there's this collision of the huge opportunity in the tea market and this massive opportunity in the weight loss market. And this collision is creating what I call your mega opportunity with the flagship product from Total Life Changes called ISO Tea. All right. Now, let's look at why ISO Tea is so crazy popular and is so needed. Let's look at the problems first. One, your body is under attack by the foods that you're eating that are grown with pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, depleted soils, foods that look good, but they're devoid of nutrients, right? Processed foods, GMOs, hybrid foods, right? And a lot of hybrid foods, you don't even know that they're hybrid foods. People would be calling me right now, wouldn't it? You don't even know that they're hybrid foods. You don't even know that they're GMO foods because not all GMOs and hybrid foods are actually labeled. Then you have cheap, toxic foods that comes from all these different fast food joints. Listen, you're not so new that you haven't seen plenty of the videos that are circulating around, food from McDonald's that doesn't experience decomposition. Fries that seem to, be suspended in time where months later they look like you just pulled them out of McDonald's or whatever. So listen, that's not normal, but those are cheap and they're fast foods that people are putting into their body. Also, organic is no longer really organic. There was a study done by the USDA that showed more than 40% of the certified organic products that were tested on the store shelves came back positive for pesticides. So even if it says that it's certified organic, does not necessarily mean that it's free of pesticides and other chemicals. Speaking of chemicals, you got chemicals, particle matter, and biological materials that are in the air that we're breathing right now. Again, our bodies are under attack. Also, the chemicals in your water, and pretty much all our water has been, especially if you're drinking it through the faucet, unfiltered, has been linked to high cholesterol, obesity, hormone suppression, and even cancer. And I'm not just pulling this out of the air. This is according to the environmental science and technology letters. So what's the solution? The solution is ISOT. And I'm not just saying ISOT is the solution. Let's take a look at why it's the solution. Because this is not just another tea. With just 2 servings a day, ISOT cleanses your upper and lower intestines. It detoxes your respiratory system. It detoxes your liver. It rids your body of toxins and bacteria. It eliminates worms and all those nasty parasites and creepy crawlers that are running around inside your body. It kills fungus and yeast. It gives you relief from constipation, indigestion, acid reflux, bloating. Also, it improves your metabolism and it can aid in weight loss, right? And it contains no stimulants and there's nothing in ISOT that is addictive. So I want you to imagine for a minute an herbal tea that's so powerful that you can experience dramatic weight loss. You can lose 5 pounds in 5 days and even more over time as you continue to use it. And with that, you can experience a reduction of abdomen fat, get a smaller waistline, have a leaner body, clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, naturally feel more energized, and you can live more confidently and healthy like you never had before. Because the moment you start using these products, words won't be able to express what it is you're feeling. And the tea is 100% natural with 9 organic herbs. This one product alone will allow you to tap into the $80 billion weight loss industry. And in a minute here, I'm going to share with you what my results are with using the product. These are some of the testimonials. And you know what? This is not even a snapshot. These are just some pictures. There's so many people whose lives have been transformed from the products here at Total Life Changes. I don't even think anyone can keep up with them. Me personally, when I started using the products, I was roughly 295 pounds. Right now, I'm fluctuating between 230 and 235. I had hypertension, clinically diagnosed with hypertension. So I had a prescription of X-Forge. Anybody that has high blood pressure or hypertension will probably be familiar with X-Forge. My top cyst number will be like 195 to just over 200. Well, after using the products, my top number now goes from like 130 to 135. Sometimes it'll bounce up to 140. And that's normal to pre-high blood pressure because you have normal, pre-high blood pressure, high blood pressure, and hypertension. And I've never had to use X-Forge again. And that's going on 2 years. I also had absolutely severe allergies. I'm talking runny nose, scratchy throat, runny eyes, sneezing like you wouldn't believe. And it was so bad, I would have to take Zyrtec. And then on top of Zyrtec, follow that up with some Benadryl. And I'm not just talking about like 1 or 2 Zyrtec. I would take like 5 Zyrtec. And then when Zyrtec didn't seem like it was working, I would switch over to Benadryl. And when the Benadryl wasn't working, I would go to Zyrtec. And when that seemed weak, I would combine the two. So it got really bad. But to this day, I no longer have to use Zyrtec and I no longer have to use Benadryl. So that's what convinced me, about these products. And that's why I started to get into the business. James Dentley, good friend of mine, known him for years. Bill Walsh, they were telling me about the company and the products. And to be frank, I was rather annoyed. They were really pushing it. They were really excited about it. I knew they wouldn't steer me the wrong way, but I was rather annoyed. I didn't really want to take a look at it. The products did interest me, so I put like $550 into a whole bunch of products to give them a shot. I was sold. The products are so powerful, it's one of those things you kind of have to experience. It's kind of like sex. You can tell people about it all day long, but you got to get in there. You know what I'm saying? You got to get in there. And it's an experience. These products are experiences that people have. People love this company and they love these products because it blows their heads off with the results that they get. And the feeling is undeniable. No one can take that away from you. And that's why these products are selling so fast. That's why this company is growing so fast, because people get hooked on these products because they once for all in their life understand what feeling healthy is all about. All right. So we are in 5 recession-proof industries: the weight loss industry, health and wellness industry, the coffee industry, the beauty industry, and the performance enhancements industry. Now, we're not going to take a look at all these. We'll take a look at some of them. We have so many awesome products that are best sellers that are changing people's lives. One of the products is called NutriBurst, which is one of my reoccurring favorites. I've been using this every day and getting new ones every month since I started using the products from Total Life Changes. The power of 12 salads. I want you to imagine this: getting the power of 12 salads and more in just a tablespoon a day. That's what you get with NutriBurst. You get instant bioavailability because it's in liquid form. You get a 98% absorption rate, and this is by far superior than what you would get if you were taking these in a tablet or a pill form. All right. Now, all the different statistics and percentages, they kind of vary, but by no stretch of the imagination, you get a greater degree of efficiency and effectiveness when you are taking this in liquid form. Boom, instant bioavailability, 98% absorption rate. NutriBurst has 10 vitamins, 22 phytonutrients, 19 amino acids, 13 whole food greens, 12 herbs. This is just one of our health and wellness products that allows you, together with us, to tap into the $2 trillion health and wellness industry. And I mentioned coffee. We have our Delgada Coffee. This is a coffee so powerful you can sip your way to a slimmer and healthier you. This is a premium instant coffee that's infused with Siberian chaga mushroom. This is not some fungus in the backyard. This is considered the mushroom of immortality. All right. You can experience weight loss and appetite control, get clearer, healthier, younger looking skin. It supports your nervous system. It reduces cell damage from free radicals and improves your immune system and your GI tract. It benefits your cardiovascular system. It helps to normalize your blood pressure and cholesterol levels, and it helps you to better cope with stress and tons more benefits. Way too many to list here. However, this one coffee product will allow you, together with us, to cash in on the $10 billion gourmet coffee industry. Listen, these are your 3 key components to success here with Total Life Changes. The products. We have tons of best-selling products, including our #1 best-selling weight loss detox and cleanse tea, which is Iaso tea, which we just talked about. The compensation plan, the #1 rated compensation plan worldwide. And I want you to understand what that means. That means if you're looking for an opportunity to start your own home-based business, if you're looking for some side money, you're looking to replace your current income or to exceed your existing income, there are a lot of opportunities out there. Great companies, great products. But listen, let's not kid ourselves. TLC has the #1 rated compensation plan. And what that means to you is no matter where you go, no matter how much effort you put in, and no matter how much you get paid wherever else you decide to go, you will always be getting paid less than you would be making here at Total Life Changes. So to choose to go someplace else and do something else would be choosing a pay cut on the same amount of effort and the same amount of work. Now, listen, I know if you were presented with a hourly job, paid hourly job, it was the same work, same hours, same amount of days, and the boss said you can get paid $25 an hour or you can get paid $50 an hour. You're not going to say, you know what, boss, give me the $25 an hour. No, you're going to take the $50 an hour. When you select Total Life Changes, you were selecting the best compensation plan, which ensures you are getting paid maximum amount for what it is you're putting in. And we also have leadership. We have Mr. Jack Fallon that started the company. We can go into a lot about the history of this company, which is based on persistence. The #1 product this company started with was NutriBurst. It wasn't just some jacked up idea in a garage somewhere. This product was carefully formulated, and it was so carefully formulated and requires such a degree of precision. It took over 40 different manufacturers, if I recall correctly, to get the product right. Now, if Jack Fallon would have given up at number 10 or number 15, 20, or 30, hey, this video wouldn't be created. There would be no total life changes. None of this would exist. This company is built on persistence. This company is built on focus. This company is built on having a determination to create something that's going to change people's lives, and thus total life changes, because lives are being changed. So the backbone of this company is persistence, and you can come in, and if you have the willingness and you have the persistence and you are willing to be coached, you too can experience your own total life change while helping others to get a change themselves. So let's take a quick look at the compensation plan. Before we do, I want to go back to what I was sharing with you, that I started with an investment of $550 in some products to use and to share. And there's something I want to bring out right quick. Okay, and this is really important. When people are looking at an opportunity to do anything, whether it's to lose weight, start a business, they always ask this question. And it's not a bad question. It's a good question. It's just not the best question in isolation. They ask themselves, well, what is it going to cost? Right? What is it going to cost? It's going to cost you this amount to have the gym membership. It's going to cost you this amount to have these products that are going to make you feel good and help you to lose weight and improve your health. It's going to cost this amount to start your business. And I get that. But I remember it was once said that nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. And if there's anything you remember from this, remember that nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. So when I was kind of like snubbing TLC when it was first presented to me because I was doing other stuff, and I said, okay, I'm gonna get some products, I could have said, I don't want to put $550 into some products or anything like that, because that's what it's going to cost me to get started for the products that I wanted to try out. But guess what? I got into the business because the products were so powerful. The products proved to be more than what the company was claiming the products would be. But since doing that, I've raked in $59,164.18. Now listen, people have done more, people have done less. I'm just sharing with you at this time what it is I've been able to pull in, because I think that's important for you to know. Because, people are doing a whole lot less, people are doing a whole lot more. But I want you to know that, hey, the compensation plan is working for me. But the bigger point is, it cost me $550 to start the business and get the products. But here's the question that I want you to ask yourself. What does it cost you if you don't? What does it cost you if you don't get on the products to improve your health and lose weight? What does it cost you if you don't start the business? Listen, there's a snapshot of my back office. Those in TLC know that's a real snapshot. Those are the numbers right there, so you don't think I'm just throwing numbers up here on the screen. I want to make this one thing perfectly clear. If I was not willing to invest that $550, it would have cost me over $59,000. See, that's the thing. That's something that people don't really think about. It's called financial intelligence. Understanding that when you're looking at an opportunity, there's two sides to the coin. It's the cost to do it and the cost of not doing it. And when the cost of not doing something is called opportunity cost. I would have missed the opportunity to make that $59,000 and some change, which, by the way, that's an old snapshot. It's more than that right now, but in all fairness, since that's the snapshot I was going to use, I wanted to make sure that I used an accurate number. But it's the same thing for anybody else that's in this business. Whatever it costs them, their initial investment, if they did not make that initial investment, whatever amount of money it is they're making right now, they would not have made that. Okay, so how do we go about making this? Okay, easy. It's with Total Life Changes #1 compensation plan. So let's take a quick look at that. The number one way you get paid, when I say number one, I'm just talking about way number one, is retail profits. You get paid 50% retail, 50% commission off of all your retail sales. Now, you can get inventory and you can retail daily to people and do cash transactions, or you can sell them online and get paid via PayPal. Or when you enroll, the company gives you a free e-commerce website that is ready instantaneously, that you can start sharing on Facebook or other social media and emailing to people. And when they go over to your website and they purchase, you're getting 50% commissions, which means you are in business instantaneously. So that's one way you get paid. Number two, fast start bonuses. When you bring people into the business, you get a 50% commission and you get commissionable volume when they come in. So what I did is I put together a little something here so you can see some of the popular packages. Just a 10T pack, 25T pack, 50T pack, and 150T pack. Let's look at the 50T pack. Somebody comes in and they say, hey, okay, I want to come in and order 50 packs of tea. Well, their investment is $559.95. You're going to make, as a fast start bonus in terms of cash, $250, and you're going to get 250 points that you will get paid a binary commission on. So you get to double dip. And I'm going to share with you in a minute, what that whole binary thing is all about. But this is extraordinary. Those are high numbers. You'll be hard pressed to find an opportunity that's going to pay you that amount of money when people come into the business. Okay. Here's something that's important though. Something that the wealthiest people in this earth know. They know where the true power and profits come from. Oprah knows this. Bill Gates knows this. Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook knows this. Jeff Bezos of Amazon knows this. Tyler Perry knows this. Tyra Banks knows this. They all know this. They know that to get the real power and get the real profits, you need to be sitting at the top of your own organization, or if you want to call it, your own pyramid, right? Listen, by the way, everything is a pyramid. Everything is a pyramid. Network marketing is nothing more than using networks to market your products and services. That's all it is. People try to throw network marketing into this category of its own. Everybody is using a network to market their stuff. Apple uses it. Microsoft uses it. Amazon is one huge network where millions of people use to market their stuff. When you go into a Walmart or you go into any store and you pick up a product that is not created by Walmart or by Target or by whomever, you have just picked up a product from an organization that is using a network to get that product into your hand. Everything is about using networks to market products. That is the most efficient way and the most effective way to rapidly leverage all the different resources of your own and other people to maximize profits. That's it. And sitting on top of your own pyramid is basically sitting on top of your own organization. It's not just a position of power and great profits. It's also a position of great responsibility. So if you want that position, you also have to own that position and be responsible for that organization. But a pyramid within itself is nothing but a structure. It's not a scheme. It's not a scam. You don't go over to Egypt and look at the pyramids and be like, oh, look at the scams. Look at how big that scam is. That is a huge scam. It's a structure, man. That's all it is. People know, the people that make the big money know that this is where the money is, okay? And that's where you need to be. You need to be at the top of your own organization. You're in the pyramid right now. If you got a job, you're in the pyramid. You're not in the CEO's office, the VP's office, the accounting office, or the manager's office. You're at the bottom of the pyramid. And the bottom line is this. Every single one of us, we have a position. We have a position of advantage or disadvantage, okay? And if you don't deliberately pick a position in a pyramid that gives you an advantage, by default, you're going to have a position of disadvantage. You have a position of strength or weakness. If you don't deliberately pick a position of strength, then you're going to have a position of weakness. This is your opportunity to wake up and say, hey, everything's a pyramid, man. Everything is a pyramid. Everything is a network. Let me wake up and let me pick a position of advantage and a position of strength within the pyramid and sit atop of an organization, build other leaders, helping them sit on top of their organization. And let's do what all the Fortune 100, 500, and 1,000 companies do, and that is use networks to market products and services. Man, that's all network and marketing is. Check this out. I call this the being Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld, listen, unless you just were born, you probably know who Jerry Seinfeld is, right? Jerry Seinfeld mastered his craft, got himself a deal with NBC, got paid big bucks to learn the script and go record one day in front of a live audience. Show has been canceled for years. It's already gone off the air for years, but yet Jerry Seinfeld is still one of the highest earning entertainers, and millions, actually tens of millions, go to him every single year off of a show that he no longer does. Why? Because The show is also now on DVDs. The show is in syndication, and he gets paid for that. People buy the show on iTunes. People buy the show on Amazon, and so on. He is getting residuals from all of that stuff. And being in this type of business offers you the opportunity to leverage networks and develop that passive residual income. I just call it being Jerry Seinfeld. Listen, 97% of the people that don't believe this stuff, they're the ones that continue to ask for permission to take breaks. Can they stay out sick? Can they go to lunch? And all this other kind of stuff as slaves to the 3% who do believe this. I am exhorting you to be amongst the 3% that believe it and do it. So here's a third way you get paid. It's called the binary pay. You get paid 10% to 25% binary. When you come in, you're building two teams, and we help you to do it. You have a left team and a right team, your left side and your right side. Every week, you have what's called your power leg, which has the most points, and then you have your pay leg, which is the one with the least amount of points. That is the leg you get paid on, and based on where you are rank-wise, from associate to executive ambassador, as you see on the screen, you are paid a binary commission. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you are at regional manager, which is position 4 here on the screen. I'm sorry, regional director. I apologize. You get a 17% binary commission. All right. Now, remember, these points, the points are an accumulation of everybody that's on your team. All right. It's no different than all the money that Apple makes from all the different locations that are selling iPads and iPhones, etc. Because remember, Apple isn't the only place that's selling it. You don't just go pick up an Apple device at an Apple store. You can go buy Apple devices on Amazon. You can buy Apple devices from Sprint, from T-Mobile, from AT&T. So Apple is using a network to market their Apple products. Right? So they make all this money from all these different people in the network that are marketing their products. It's the same thing with you. You have teams that have teams that have teams. All the points that they're accumulating from marketing and using the products are accumulating in your left and your right leg. Let's just say that you have 10,000 points in your pay leg for that week, and you're a regional director. You're getting paid 17%. So for that week, you get a binary check for $1,700. That is on top of your fast start commissions, and that is on top of your 50% retail commissions, okay? Now, you also have check matching bonuses, right? You get a 50% check match on all the people that you bring in, your front line, right? And you get a 10 to 50% check match on all the people that they bring in, their front line, right? And that is unlimited. That means an unlimited number of people that you bring in across your first line, you would get a 50% check match on their binary check, right? And an unlimited number of people that they bring in on their front line, you get a 10 to 50% check match on their binary. And that 10 to 50% is just dependent on where you're ranking within Total Life Changes. But let me give you an example. Let's just say this young lady here got a $2,000 binary check. You have a 50% check match, so you got a $1,000 check on top of that. Okay. Now, let's say this guy here, he got a $1,000 binary check. You picked up yourself a $500 check match. That is $1,500 in check match bonuses for that week on top of your own binary check, which is on top of your fast start bonuses, which is on top of your 50% retail commissions. So if you take a look at everything holistically, meaning the big picture, you're getting 50% retail commissions, you're getting 50% fast start bonuses with commissionable volume. And I didn't even go into the hybrid binary. I'm just trying to get through this thing. I mean, it's like, this is awesome, right? You get first level 50% check match. You get second level 10 to 50% check match. And you get 10 to 50% binary pay. It's just off the charts, right? And $35 gets you started. Here's what you get for $35. You get the professional TLC business starter kit. It includes a jumpstart sheet, a business training guide, a home party guide, making the shift audio CD, 3 Momentum magazines, which actually have a DVD in each one. Absolutely outstanding magazines, great to use for professionals like salon owners and people like that, and doctors if you're interested in talking to them about Total Life Changes and getting into the business. Promo drop cards, the TLC product catalog, the TLC corporate brochure, and you get a complete marketing kit. You get a free e-commerce marketing website. Once you enroll, instantly you have a website that you can start circulating. And let's say you enroll right now, you get your website, you send it to people, and people start going over there and they start buying. You start making money that quick. That's how fast you can start making money in this business. But you not only get that e-commerce marketing website, you get 2 lead capture pages. You get them in English and you get them in Spanish. You get a back office to manage your business so you can see all the stats on what's going on, all the orders, all the enrollments, your team size, your checks, everything. Okay, you get free downloadable and printable product sheets that are beautifully designed, well detailed, gives you information about the products and even the ingredients in the products. They're great to print and hand out as well as to use as attachments to emails. You get instant email notification on all the orders and enrollments. So when people hit the website, you don't have to guess if people are ordering. You're going to get the order notifications in your email. When people enroll, same thing. You get their enrollment details and you have everybody's name, their contact phone number, and their email address so you can immediately get in contact with them, all right? So you can give them great service. As well as with your lead generation pages, when somebody opts in and they're looking at the business, you're notified with their name, their phone number, and their email address so you can contact them and see if there are any questions that you can answer for them, get them on a 3-way call, get them on the phone with me or somebody on your team. Boom, let's ramp them up into the business. Listen, this is for you if you want to have a second income without having a second job. You want to work less while earning more. At least put yourself in the position as you start building that passive residual income where you can start working less while earning more. You can build a bigger income because you're not capped for dollars and hours. There aren't so many different hours, so many hours in a day, and your boss is only going to pay you so much per hour based on the pay rate of the position that you hold. Well, this right here, the opportunity is truly unlimited. It's called the stratosphere. The sky's not the limit. It's the stratosphere. However high the stratosphere is way up there. But the bottom line is you can build a bigger income. You can recession-proof your income. Because listen, while the economy is nosediving, there are certain industries that just don't take the hit, okay? So you can recession-proof your income because it's not just based on one job in one place. You're generating your income across multiple huge markets. You can start earning money in as little as 24 hours. I just gave you that example. Get your website, start sending it to people. People go over and order, you're making money. And you can position yourself where you can start doing what you want while loving what it is you do and finally be comfortable and secure as your family's provider. And if that's you, let me give you a recommendation on how to get the best possible start. All right. When you enroll, you're going to have an opportunity to get some enrollment products. You can start with just $35, but come on, listen, who's going to open up a shop and not have any products? I recommend you get some of the instant tea and you get one of the packs of the regular tea. And let me share with you why. Let me just give you some hypotheticals here. With the instant tea, you can sell each individual tea for $3. You can sell them as trials, or you could just retail them for $3 each. You have 60 in the pack. Your gross revenue on that is going to be $180 minus the initial cost of $59.95. You end up with a profit of $120.05. Your cost for the product will go down once you become a distributor because you'll be able to get money back on your orders. Now, let's just say you got a 50-pack of tea, okay? So now you have your 50 packs of tea. These are the full-size original tea, which lasts 7 days. So you sell them for $15 each. You have 50 in the pack. You gross $750 in revenue. Your initial cost was $561.87. You have a net of $188.13. Again, your cost is going to go down once you become a distributor because you then will start getting money back in terms of your commission. But here's another key thing. With each one of these, with the instant tea, you have 60 trial customers if you sold them to individuals or product testers. And with the 50 pack, you have 50 packs of tea. If you sold them to 50 individuals, you now have 50 individuals that are trialing and giving the product a test drive. You go back to those same people, many of them, from my experience, end up buying more product and start taking a look at the business. Just that quickly, you were able to jumpstart your business. So here's the big question for you. Which do you prefer having more of? Do you want to have more bills or do you want to have more money? Do you want to have more bills or do you want to have more money? Listen, look, I know what your answer is. You want to have more money, okay? So this is the best deal ever. If you want more money, let's go ahead and get you enrolled. You can go to isotreviews.net/enroll. I prefer you give me a call at 254-221-4187 so I can personally place you on the team, but it's your choice. Either way, you will hear from it. You get the professional TLC business starter kit. That's only $35. You also get a complete ready-to-use e-commerce marketing website. Other companies charge you for that. With TLC, that's free. You get 2 lead generation pages. You get them in English, you get them in Spanish. Other companies would charge you for that. Total Life Changes is free. You get a password protected back office to manage your business. It gives you all the stats on what's going on, your orders, your customer orders, your team, the size of your team, the placements of your team. Everything is in your back office. No monthly fees for that. Boom. That is free. And here's the prize. Here's the prize. You get one-on-one fast start training with me so I can help personally get you off to a fast start in building your income. And that is free too. Listen, all of this for just $35 minimum. I do recommend, however, that you go about getting some initial products so that we can help you to retail those products, get some customers, and then start to do what's called retailing to recruit, right? But let's take a quick look at some pros and cons. What are the pros? And we're going to make this quick, and then we're going to close it out. Listen, this is a proven method to make passive residual income. Just the idea of using networks to market products with a company that's stable, reliable, debt-free, doing tens of millions, highly credible, fast-growing, best-selling products. Listen, this is a proven method. Also, it doesn't take many sales to add up to starting to get a good weekly check or deposits from Total Life Changes. You don't need to know a lot of people. We show you how you can actually reach out to people on social media that you don't even know, that you can start using that method to build your business. It doesn't require any previous experience. So, hey, no college degree necessary. I don't even have a high school diploma. I was kicked out. But guess what? This works. It's the number one compensation plan. If you pick anything else, you're not choosing to be number one. Best-selling products, meaning the products are already proven to sell. They are consumables, they are affordable, they are desirable. That trifecta that I was talking to you about earlier. And these products really, really help people. Listen, there's nothing more fulfilling than being paid well for helping other people to get well financially and physically. When you see these high-paid surgeons, do you think they're in their back office depressed over how much money they make for doing brain surgeries and all the type of surgeries they do? No, they get paid well to help people. You will be paid very well to help people. And this is a low investment, high return. You don't have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars like a franchise and then go to some multi-week university to learn how to run the franchise. Very low investment, very, very high return. Remember, it's not just what the cost is to get started. What is it going to cost you if you don't? It would have cost me over $60,000 if I didn't invest that $550. So certainly, I'm glad I went ahead and made the decision to enroll in Total Life Changes. Also, you get personal help from me and the entire team. Not just me, it's an entire team of us that are working together. And guess what? You get to fellowship with like-minded people. I understand the path of entrepreneurship. A lot of people around you, they don't get it. They'll sneer at you. They'll growl at you. They'll try to discourage you. It can be very toxic. Fellowshipping with people that have this mindset that are a part of Total Life Changes can become a buffer. Right? It becomes a buffer to all the negativity and all the naysayers. And trust me, I've been there. The people that say you can't do it when you're breaking in the big bucks, they're the first ones in line that are like, give me some. But listen, that's where their mindset is. Don't allow their mindset to act like gravity to your mindset and pull you down. Connect and fellowship with like-minded people and Total Life Changes that understands the determination, understands the struggle, understand what it takes to build successful businesses. Then you can be that beacon of hope. You can be that light. Your physical transformation, your financial transformation could be that trigger, that moment, that flashpoint for the people around you, and then their minds start to change. They start going from tearing you down to building you up. I know it may be a little late, but better late than never, right? They need to see somebody do something, right? Because most people, the cloud of negativity is so thick. Most people are drunk on negativity. I mean, that's just their life. But one person has to make the decision to rise above it and come up out of it and become that physical living example, not a verbal example, talking about what you're going to do, but that physical example and actually demonstrate it. And that can be you. And one of the ways that we can help you to do that is to bring you into the fellowship of total life changes. Now, what are the cons? It requires money to start. But hey, guess what? What doesn't? If you want to invest in stocks, commodities, futures, and options, it's going to take money, right? That takes money. If you want to start a franchise, it's going to take money. If you want to go start your own independent company, like a carpet cleaning business or a daycare, it's going to take some kind of money. Money to set it up, money for license, money for advertising and marketing. If you want to go and do flip real estate, you got to have the money, not just to get it, but you have to have the money to, refurbish it, fix it up, and then turn it around. Even if you're using the bank's money, you're still using money. You're still using lines of credit. So it takes money to start. So what? That's not new. Okay? That's not new. Most of us have to learn how to invest money instead of wasting and spending money. Most people do not have a lack of money, believe it or not. They have a financial intelligence issue because the money they do have come in, they waste it. They waste it. They spend it on things that depreciate instead of investing it into things that appreciate. Are you following me on that one? Also, time. It's going to take some time. Yeah, but it doesn't take forever. And it's not the quantity of time, it's the quality of time. Listen, you can spend 10 hours spinning around in your chair. Okay, you spent 10 hours, but it was highly unproductive. You can spend one focused, hustled hour a day and build this business, right? So is it going to take time? Sure. But if you put the quality time in, you connect with us as a team, you participate, you get involved, you be engaged, you be coachable, the time will be well invested. Because guess what? Just like with money, people have time. All of us have 24 hours in a day. But most people, they waste their time. They spend their time. They don't invest their time. They waste their time flipping from one YouTube to another and creating stuff that just gives no positive return on their time. Right? They prefer to be entertained as opposed to educated, right? They prefer to watch some crazy fake reality show as opposed to read a book and feed their mind something that is positive and that's healthy. It's kind of like the foods a person puts in their body, is bad food. The foods that people are putting into their mind is bad food. So people waste their time like they waste their money. They spend their time like they spend their money. They don't get a positive return on their money. They don't get a positive return on their time. With us, we're going to show you how, whatever amount of time you have, how to get a positive ROI on the time that you invest. But here's the big question. Well, what if it doesn't work for me? Well, will this be the first thing that doesn't work for you? I'm sure you've done many things before that didn't work for you, and you're alive to listen to this. So the point is, it ain't going to kill you. That being said, we insist that this works for you. This business is about helping other people. This isn't about enroll them and then leave them. You know that old saying, love them and leave them. No, this isn't about enroll them and leave them. This is about enroll them, build them up, turn them to leaders, and then show them how to replicate that leadership. Listen, we insist that you be built up in this business. That's just how the structure of Total Life Changes is put together. You build leaders, and as you build leaders, your leadership position goes up. Besides, from my experience, most people that didn't have something work for them, it's because they didn't really work it the right way, if not at all. If you are willing to be engaged, you're willing to be proactive, take the initiative, participate, and be coachable, this will work for you. The products will work for you. All you have to do is take them. Let me ask you, it's like caffeine. It's like a person say, hey, I want some energy. They say, take caffeine. If the person says, well, what if the caffeine don't work for me? Now, granted, some people need more caffeine than the other, but the bottom line is if you put enough caffeine in your system, you're going to feel the caffeine, right? You just have to put it in your system. With the products, all you have to do is use the products, and the products will work for you. When it comes to the business, follow the instructions. You follow the instructions, it's going to work for you. How much money will you make? Hey, man, I don't know. But that's the exciting part. Taking that ride and going on that journey and seeing you go from the day one to building the business and then just watching and fascinating and great joy as you start to build up your check. That's the exciting part, because whatever amount you're making in the first month, it should be a whole lot more than that by month 3, then by month 9, by month 12, and so on. It can go higher and higher and higher. All right, so listen. That's it. Going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Best deal ever. $35 gets you started. That is the $35 income hack that can help you make $500 to $1,000 a week or more if you participate, if you engage. If you do nothing, I guarantee you nothing is going to work for you. All right. You can go to hostilityReviews.net/enroll. However, I do prefer that you give me a call at 254-221-4187 so you and I can have a personal chat and I could place you somewhere on the team. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, let's get you enrolled and then you can share this video with others and we can start help you to build your team. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your energy. This is Stephen Allen. I'm signing off. God bless you and yours.